Well, he's brainwashed, but Meghan's very clever. I mean, don't think for a moment that she's not convincing quite a lot of people, especially in America and in Africa and the Caribbean and elsewhere.
So the two idiots respond to Tom Bower.
I choose people whose lives are shrouded in mystery, and they've climbed the greasy pole. They want to be famous, they want to be influential, they want to be powerful, they want to hide their secrets, and I just love digging away to find out what they don't want us to know.
Just when the royal drama looked like it was finally calming down, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have stirred the pot all over again. This time over a book that hasn't even hit stores yet. Yes, that's right. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex are already pushing back hard against a biography the public hasn't even read. The upcoming book, Betrayal, Power, Deceit, and the Fight for the Future of the Royal Family, written by investigative author Tom Bower, is scheduled to arrive on shelves later this month.
Meghan Markle, a liar, manipulator, and a fraud. That is the conclusion you can reach after reading some of the excerpts from Tom Bower's new book about Harry and Meghan and their battles against the royals. And it really is quite revealing about who Meghan actually is and how really she tried to pull one over on the whole world.
But just a few early excerpts were enough to send a wave of whispers and raised eyebrows across royal circles. And their reaction? Fast, fiery, and according to critics, a little too revealing. Within hours of those excerpts appearing in the press, the couple's spokesperson fired back with a sharp statement accusing Bower of spreading what they described as deranged conspiracy and melodrama. They argued the author had moved past normal criticism and stepped straight into obsession with their private lives. But here's where the situation gets really interesting. Instead of waiting for the book to come out or letting readers judge it for themselves, Harry and Meghan jumped right into the fight early. That move alone has left many royal watchers confused and talking. Because in the world of public relations, reacting too quickly can sometimes shine an even bigger spotlight on the very thing you wanted people to ignore. Think about it. Before their response, only a small number of headlines were circulating about the book's claims. After the statement dropped, suddenly everyone wanted to know what was written inside those pages. It almost looked like the Sussexes accidentally turned the biography into the most talked about royal read of the year, and the claims themselves are definitely dramatic. According to the excerpts, tensions between Meghan and other members of the royal family reportedly rose quickly after her marriage to Harry.
You are at Invictus.
Why I'm here?
Yeah, why are you at Invictus? Sure, really? Yeah? That's why you came to see? Or is it because you know Harry and Meghan were going to be here today? Yeah.
The book claims that senior royals, including Prince William and Catherine, Princess of Wales, started feeling uneasy about Meghan's growing influence. One claim especially sparked a wave of debate. The suggestion that Queen Camilla once told a friend that Meghan had brainwashed Prince Harry. Naturally, the Sussex camp rejected that claim right away, calling it baseless and completely absurd, but the controversy didn't end there. The book also dives back into the collapse of the once famous Fab Four image, when Harry, Meghan, William, and Catherine were briefly seen as the fresh future of the monarchy. According to Bower, that harmony didn't last long. Instead, the story takes a different turn. Behind the polished smiles and public appearances, disagreements, quiet mistrust, and strong personality clashes reportedly started building almost right away.
And just because some story about Meghan Markle brainwashing Harry comes out, you're going to respond? So that means it's real, Meg.
And while the palace has stuck to its usual approach, no public comment on royal biographies, that silence has only made the mystery grow even bigger. Because for many royal watchers, the real headline isn't just what's written in the book. It's the fact that Prince Harry and Meghan Markle felt the need to respond before the public even had a chance to read it. For critics, that quick reaction sparked one simple question. If the claims are truly as ridiculous as they say, then why rush out to defend against them so fast? As the official release date gets closer, one thing is already crystal clear. The book, Betrayal, Power, Deceit, and the Fight for the Future of the Royal Family has already achieved exactly what controversial royal biographies are built to do. Get people talking, stir up speculation, and reopen old tensions inside one of the most famous families on the planet. And if these early reactions are any hint of what's coming, the real drama may only be getting started. What makes the situation even more intriguing is that the debate around the book by Tom Bower isn't just about one shocking claim. It touches on a long trail of tension that many believe has been quietly building within the royal household for years. And according to the excerpts already making the rounds, those tensions may have run far deeper than the public ever realized.
She had all the time Scotland Yard protecting her and all the time people speaking on her behalf. So it's a complete lie that she's perpetuating. But I do think they're convincing. I think that people will believe this confection.
One of the most talked about sections takes readers back to the early days when Meghan Markle first stepped into royal life, when excitement around the world was sky high and many believed a fresh, modern chapter for the monarchy was beginning. At first, everything seemed picture perfect. Prince Harry had found the woman he loved. Meghan was welcomed with massive global attention, and together with Prince William and Catherine, Princess of Wales, the four were introduced as a bold new royal lineup that many quickly nicknamed the Fab Four. But behind palace doors, the harmony may not have lasted very long. According to Bower's account, William was reportedly one of the first to question how quickly Harry's relationship with Meghan was moving. The future king is said to have warned his younger brother that the whirlwind romance might be speeding ahead a little too fast. At the time, many people saw that warning as simple brotherly concern. But looking back now, critics argue it may have been the first sign of a deeper divide beginning to form. The book claims that William and Catherine slowly grew more uncomfortable with the situation inside the royal circle. Some insiders allegedly believed Meghan's influence over Harry was becoming stronger, shaping how he viewed his role, his royal duties, and even some of his longtime friendships.
That ridiculous story about how they first met, the whole thing was a tissue of inaccuracies, to be polite. That she arrived in London, full career, single girl, wasn't interested. Of course, she'd been coming to London since 2013, hunting for a man to marry. She wanted an Englishman. She was on a man.
That tension, according to the book, eventually boiled over during a dramatic meeting between the couples in 2018. In betrayal, power, deceit, and the fight for the future of the royal family, author Tom Bower describes a conversation that was supposedly meant to calm things down and smooth out growing disagreements. Instead, the discussion reportedly went completely off track and turned into a heated exchange. At one point during the meeting, Meghan allegedly snapped at Prince William during the argument. According to the account, she sharply told him to remove his finger from her face. Now, whether that moment happened exactly like that is impossible to confirm. Royal biographies often rely on unnamed insiders, and the palace almost never confirms or denies these kinds of private stories. That silence leaves a lot of space for debate, speculation, and plenty of raised eyebrows.
The truth, I spoke to very few friends of Meghan because she put a fatwa on anyone talking to me who she could. So I sent off dozens and dozens of emails to her friends, and most of them didn't even reply.
Still, the alleged confrontation paints a picture of a relationship that may have already been under serious strain behind the scenes. And that leads to another uncomfortable question. If tensions were already this intense back in 2018, only months after Prince Harry and Meghan's wedding, then maybe the royal split that shocked the world in 2020 wasn't such a sudden surprise after all. Some observers now believe it may have been the result of problems that had been building for a long time. Of course, the Sussex team has pushed back strongly against that version of events. Their spokesperson insists the book is packed with exaggerated claims and conspiracy theories designed to sensationalize private family disagreements. But critics say that reacting so aggressively might actually have the opposite effect, because every time the Sussex camp fires back, it seems to spark even more curiosity about what's written inside those pages. And when it comes to royal drama, curiosity spreads like wildfire.
But they responded via a spokesperson. Mr. Bower's commentary has long crossed the line from criticism into fixation. This is someone who's publicly stated the monarchy, in fact, depends on actually obliterating the Sussexes from our state of life. And I don't think he means physically. He just means roasting you for the rest of your idiot lives.
What started as just a few leaked excerpts has now exploded into a full media frenzy. Headlines everywhere are breaking down every alleged quote, every supposed confrontation, and every rumored disagreement connected to the royal household. For the royal family itself, the strategy appears unchanged, complete silence. But for Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, staying silent has clearly never been their style. And with the book's official release still just days away, the stage is now set for an even bigger wave of revelations. Because if these early excerpts are any clue, the story behind the Sussexes' break with the royal family may be far more complicated and far more dramatic than most people ever imagined. But perhaps the most explosive allegation in Tom Bower's upcoming book isn't about a tense meeting or a heated family clash at all. But the most explosive claim in the book doesn't focus on a heated meeting or a simple disagreement.
Is who is they? Who actually threw them to the wolves? Who actually was not prepared to tell the truth on their behalf? I mean, it's a complete fiction. It's worse than a fiction. It's actually damaging and corrosive. Because in that case you mentioned, which Meghan brought in London against the tabloids, it's quite clear that her staff in Buckingham Palace were doing everything they could to help her.
It centers on one of the most powerful figures inside the royal circle, Queen Camilla. According to excerpts from Betrayal, Power, Deceit, and the Fight for the Future of the Royal Family, author Tom Bower reports that Camilla allegedly told a friend that Meghan Markle had brainwashed Prince Harry. If that remark truly happened, it would reveal just how strongly some senior royals may have questioned Meghan's influence over the Duke of Sussex during the early days of their relationship. And it appears this exact claim is what set off the intense reaction from Harry and Meghan's team. Their spokesperson quickly shut the allegation down, calling it a baseless conspiracy and accusing the author of building dramatic stories about people he has never even met. But instead of calming the situation, that response only pushed the debate into an even brighter spotlight. Because the claim taps into a sensitive question that has followed Prince Harry and Meghan Markle ever since they stepped away from royal duties back in 2020. How much of the major change in Harry's life was driven by his own choices, and how much came from the influence of the person he married?
The privacy laws are pretty strong here, and that's what she used as a weapon at the time. So there were quite a few things about her personal life. I'll work them into another book, I think.
Oh my goodness, Tom Bower. I love that deep tease right there. That's something that we can look forward to.
Before Meghan entered the royal spotlight, Prince Harry was widely viewed as one of the most popular members of the royal family. His work supporting veterans through the Invictus Games earned him major respect, and his reputation as the relatable, rule-bending younger prince made him incredibly popular with the public. Then the situation shifted in a big way. Within just a few years, Harry left the United Kingdom, stepped away from his role as a working royal, moved to California, and began signing major media deals while giving a series of high-profile interviews criticizing the same institution he once represented. For some observers, that transformation felt sudden and dramatic. For others, it simply looked like Harry finally choosing independence from a system he had struggled with for years. Still, critics argue the timeline raises eyebrows. The departure from royal duties, the headline-making interviews, the documentary series, and the memoir, all of it seemed to push the distance between Harry and the rest of the royal family even further. And according to Bower's book, that growing divide had been worrying people inside the royal household for quite some time.
I mean, she targeted him. She knew exactly what she was doing. He was a vulnerable man whose relationships with women had been disastrous, manic depressive very often, and she fulfilled his need. She gave him what he needed, and she played it brilliantly. She never intended to stay. She's got what she wanted now. I mean, vast mansion, few million.
The biography claims that certain senior figures feared Meghan's ambitions and outlook might collide with long-standing royal traditions, creating tension that could shake the carefully balanced structure of the monarchy. Of course, none of these claims have ever been officially confirmed. Buckingham Palace has stayed completely silent about the book, something the palace almost always does when controversial royal biographies appear. But even without official confirmation, the mere suggestion that such views were being discussed behind palace doors is enough to keep the speculation machine running at full speed. And the controversy doesn't stop inside royal walls. The book also turns its attention to Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's appearances at major public events, especially the Invictus Games, the international competition Harry created to honor wounded service members. According to Betrayal, Power, Deceit, and the Fight for the Future of the Royal Family, written by Tom Bower, some critics have questioned whether media attention at times drifted away from the veterans the event was meant to celebrate. That suggestion has been firmly rejected by the Invictus Games Foundation, which made it clear that the spotlight remains focused on recovery, resilience, and the strength of the service members who compete.
That means you did brainwash Harry, and, well, then again, he's got to have a brain in order to be brainwashed.
Still, Once a claim starts circulating in royal headlines, it rarely fades quietly. Even when something is disputed, the conversation can take on a life of its own, and suddenly everyone is debating it. And with the full book still days away from hitting shelves, it's obvious the discussion around Prince Harry, Meghan Markle, and their place in the royal story is far from finished. If anything, the most controversial chapters may still be waiting around the corner. As the release date for Betrayal, Power, Deceit, and the fight for the future of the royal family draws closer, the tension surrounding the Sussexes shows absolutely no signs of slowing down. The couple's public reaction, labeling the book a deranged conspiracy packed with melodrama, has only pulled more attention toward the story. Some critics argue that responding so early may have actually backfired. By speaking out before readers even see the full book, the headlines started spreading long before the public could judge the claims for themselves. The excerpts published by The Times don't just talk about palace tensions. They also dive into Harry and Meghan's growing list of media and business ventures.
And of course, she lied when she told the British High Court that she had not cooperated in telling her own lies, that it was all a mystery to her. And that's what's so terrible, that the more she lies, the more credibility she's getting.
From streaming deals to lifestyle branding projects, the couple is portrayed as using every opportunity to stay visible and influential in the public eye. For many observers, that picture reinforces a narrative that has followed the Sussexes for years, that they've turned their royal connection into something closer to a modern celebrity brand than a traditional royal role. One of the most provocative sections once again circles back to the Invictus Games. According to Bauer's account, Meghan's appearances at the 2025 Games in Canada supposedly drew media focus away from the athletes themselves. Some insiders allegedly described the moment as turning into the Harry and Meghan show, raising concerns about balancing global attention between the high-profile couple and the competitors the event was built to honor. However, the Invictus Games Foundation has strongly pushed back against those claims, stressing that the event remains firmly centered on rehabilitation, recovery, and the determination of the service members who compete. The biography also circles back to the breakdown of relationships inside the royal family.
Yeah, we've read the things you've wrote about them, especially Meghan. We've seen your book, we've heard about your book. So it's very interesting that you're at Invictus because we know why you're here. So why don't you tell the truth about why you're here? You came all the way from the UK and the UK press to Invictus in Canada just because you want to see it? Nah, I don't think so.
Focusing on the early friction between Meghan Markle and senior members of the monarchy. One claim has grabbed more attention than almost anything else. According to Betrayal, Power, Deceit, and the Fight for the Future of the Royal Family, author Tom Bauer writes that Queen Camilla allegedly told a friend that Meghan had brainwashed Prince Harry. That remark alone has sparked huge debate, with people arguing about influence, personal choice, and who really holds the power in the relationship. At the same time, the book paints a picture of Prince Harry slowly drifting further away from family members and longtime friends. The narrative suggests a couple dealing with two intense pressures at once, global fame on one side and growing family tension on the other. But the story doesn't stay inside palace walls. Beyond the royal circle, the book also highlights the Sussexes' expanding media and business ventures. From streaming partnerships to branding projects, their deals have played a huge role in shaping how the public sees them today.
To Andrew Morton, talk to Tom Bauer. All of these people that have written books about her have been like, it's a struggle to get to the truth of who this female was before she meets Prince.
Critics have often questioned whether those ventures match the traditional expectations tied to the monarchy, or whether they look more like a modern celebrity business strategy. In the context of Bauer's book, those arguments are pushed even further. The biography suggests the couple's media moves may be part of a calculated effort to stay visible and control their own narrative in a fast-moving news cycle. Of course, Harry and Meghan's spokesperson strongly rejects that entire storyline. They insist the book is built more on speculation than fact, and point to what they say is a long pattern of rumors and unfounded theories surrounding the Sussexes. But one reality is impossible to ignore. Public fascination with royal drama is enormous. In today's non-stop media world, accusations, celebrity responses, and viral quotes can spread across the globe within hours. Sometimes those reactions become just as powerful as official confirmation.
So the two idiots respond to Tom Bauer. The book hasn't even came out yet. This, this is so stupid. Why would you do this? Why would you respond to this man? Now, I could understand if the book came out, right? And we were all talking about it and whatever. Okay, then maybe you say something. But that's not for 2 weeks. That's not till the 26th, I believe.
With only days left before the book reaches store shelves, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle now face a challenge that has followed them for years, managing public perception while a powerful narrative unfolds largely outside their control. And in a story filled with constant scrutiny, global curiosity, and endless speculation, the release of Betrayal, Power, Deceit, and the Fight for the Future of the Royal Family promises to add another dramatic chapter to the saga of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. The countdown has officially begun, and the royal world is watching closely. As the release date creeps closer, the storm around Harry and Meghan only seems to grow stronger. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex, who have spent years building a public image centered on independence and modern values, now find themselves defending that reputation once again. Their spokesperson's fiery statement labeling Bauer's book a deranged conspiracy and melodrama has taken over headlines everywhere.
The whole story about her attitude to people she works with, and there was two agents who told horrible stories about her bullying and her oppression. I came across with the impression of a woman who is very intelligent, very determined, very ambitious, but also ruthless. And in the end, in her terms, successful.
But some observers are asking a tough question. Did attacking the book before it even launched actually make it more powerful? Because now the spotlight is brighter than ever. The excerpts describe a couple whose personal lives, business moves, and royal legacy remain tightly connected, even as they attempt to move away from official duties. The Invictus Games, the international sporting event founded by Prince Harry for wounded service members, also appears in the spotlight once again. According to Bauer's account, Meghan's involvement in public appearances and media moments sometimes drew attention toward the couple rather than the athletes themselves. However, the Invictus Games Foundation has firmly rejected those suggestions, emphasizing that the Games remain focused on courage, recovery, and rehabilitation for the competitors who take part. Meanwhile, the book continues examining internal royal tensions. The alleged remark from Queen Camilla about Meghan brainwashing Harry has become the center of a heated global debate. The biography also looks closely at the strained dynamic between Harry and his brother, Prince William, along with William's wife, Catherine, Princess of Wales.
We're being brainwashed by these Hollywood people who think this is the way to make money and, in the end, destroy our monarchy to make their fortune.
According to the narrative, some insiders worried that the Sussexes' media deals and public presence could create complications for the stability of the monarchy. For supporters of the traditional royal structure, that storyline reinforces a familiar tension. Even after stepping away from official royal duties, Harry and Meghan remain highly visible figures, still carrying titles, influence, and global attention wherever they go. Financial scrutiny also enters the picture, adding another intense layer to the growing debate. From high-profile streaming deals to lifestyle branding ventures, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are often portrayed as navigating every opportunity connected to their global fame. Critics say that while Prince William and Catherine, Princess of Wales, are frequently praised for quiet charity work and diplomatic appearances, the Sussexes' commercial projects sometimes give the impression of turning attention into business opportunity. In Betrayal, Power, Deceit, and the Fight for the Future of the Royal Family, author Tom Bauer argues that these ventures are tightly tied to the couple's public image. According to the book's narrative, every project, partnership, and announcement feeds a cycle of headlines that keeps their names constantly in the spotlight. Public reaction to the early excerpts has been sharply divided. Supporters of Harry and Meghan have rushed to defend them, saying the reporting relies too heavily on speculation and sensational claims. But skeptics see the situation differently. They argue that the couple's own decisions, large media partnerships, business branding, and high-visibility appearances, naturally invite intense public attention. And according to some analysts, the early pushback from the Sussex team may have had an unexpected side effect. By responding before the book even arrives in stores, they may have drawn even more curiosity toward the claims. At its core, Betrayal, Power, Deceit, and the Fight for the Future of the Royal Family highlights a complicated balancing act. Prince Harry and Meghan are navigating fame, business ambitions, and family reputation, while millions of people around the world watch every move. And in a story shaped by wealth, influence, and constant media attention, the next chapter always seems to be right around the corner. For the Sussexes, the stakes are extremely high. Every interview, every statement, every response is magnified, analyzed, and debated across global media platforms. As the book's launch date gets closer, one fact is impossible to ignore. The drama surrounding the Duke and Duchess of Sussex is nowhere near finished. As the countdown to the release of betrayal, power, deceit, and the fight for the future of the royal family continues, the spotlight on Harry and Meghan refuses to fade. The couple has strongly rejected claims that Queen Camilla once said Meghan had brainwashed Prince Harry, dismissing the allegation as a deranged conspiracy and melodrama. But critics argue that attacking the book before readers can judge it themselves might only increase public curiosity about its most dramatic claims. The excerpts describe a couple who, despite stepping away from official royal duties, remain closely connected to the institution they once represented. One major focus, again, centers on the Invictus Games, the international sporting event Prince Harry founded to honor wounded service members. According to Bauer's account, Meghan's presence at certain events sometimes shifted media attention toward the couple themselves rather than the athletes competing. However, the Invictus Games Foundation has strongly rejected that idea, emphasizing that the Games remain dedicated to recovery, resilience, and camaraderie among the competitors. The book also revisits tensions inside the royal family. It describes a strained dynamic between the Sussexes and other senior figures, including Prince William and Catherine, Princess of Wales. Some observers claim Meghan's influence over Harry may have created distance between him and relatives who once formed his closest support network. Financial and media scrutiny continues to intensify the debate. Every project, from streaming partnerships to branding ventures, is examined through the lens of royal history and public expectations. Critics say turning former royal visibility into commercial ventures invites skepticism. Supporters respond that Harry and Meghan are simply modern public figures, building independent careers while supporting causes they care about. In the end, the early reaction to betrayal, power, deceit, and the fight for the future of the royal family highlights a bigger reality. No matter how far the Sussexes try to move from royal life, the shadow of the monarchy, and the global attention that comes with it, continues to follow them everywhere. And with the book about to arrive, the world is once again waiting for the next twist in a saga filled with fame, influence, and non-stop royal intrigue. If you watch this and have thoughts, drop them in the comments below. If this breakdown made you see things differently, hit subscribe and stay locked in for more deep dives like this. Don't forget to like the video and share it with someone who needs to see it.